getting it right. There's someone else controlling me. Down in the air, trapped in the electric chair. This can't be happening to me. Who made you not to see? I'll take your love from you. Flash before my eyes. Now it's time to die.
What's going on there, YouTube land? Welcome back for another, I say episode, because it just kind of comes to me like, welcome back to another episode of Goodies Monster Reviews. Is it an episode? I don't know. But I kind of started saying that, and I've just been saying it, so welcome back to another episode of Goodies Monster Reviews. Today, we got a few things going on today. I'm going to review the 30mm BFT tank by Ohmega, Advken. She hits like a truck. Also going to be doing a review on this One Hit Wonders Policeman. It's the only flavor I have from them that I'm going to do a review, so instead of doing just a little 6 or 7 minute video review, I figured I'd throw it into the mix with this one. But first things first, Monster Energy drink. I apologize that it's already open because this is take dos. The first one was like 7 minutes in, and then my camera went beep beep beep. And the fucking batteries were dead, so yeah, gotta start all over. Fan-fucking-tastic. Anyhow, I wasn't gonna ditch this monster and open a whole new one just because of that, so bear with me. Ultra Sunrise. Get up, get out, go for it. Ultra Sunrise, dedicated to those who sacrifice sleep for passion, catching waves at dawn patrol, up on the bike when the morning dew gives the dirt more grip, or the first pass on that glassy lake kicking off an epic wake session. Orange can, you think orange juice, sunrise, you think orange juice for breakfast, and this doesn't disappoint. This is a really sweet orange drink that it kind of tastes like orange juice, but it's carbonated, not like over carbonated, but carbonated. But it's a really sweet juice. I get hints of orange, a really sweet, succulent tangerine. Definitely a lot of citrus going on inside there. Very good, very good. First things first. I see a lot of shit going on in the YouTube review world that really grinds my gears, chaps my ass, burns my bacon, crisps my biscuit, whatever your euphemism may be. Basically, it boils down to people selling out or people being biased because they might receive something for free, being biased because they've had a bad fucking day, whatever the list of excuses is. Point blank, it boils down to we as reviewers are doing a public service by bringing you guys informed, educated, and honest decisions, opinions, and information on the products that we are reviewing. Yeah. On products that we are reviewing. If I come into this half-assed with half information, half truths, pissed off, biased, I am doing you a terrible injustice. I do my research. There are many variables go into this before you actually see this part of the review. I spend many hours in front of the computer. I research the builders. I research other YouTube reviewers. I do a lot of research before I actually sit down and do my spiel about this product and this and that and this and that. So it really pisses me off whenever I see other reviewers that are biased because they have to pay for something or they didn't get it fast enough, or they're in a bad mood that day, or they're upset, or they're whatever. Because ultimately, you are representing that company, that product, that individual, whatever the case may be. And just because I have a bad day, or just because any number of different factors come into play, shouldn't mean that I give something a bad review or a good review. Just because I'm in a really good mood that day, shouldn't mean that I tell you this box is awesome when it's really a piece of shit. That's not the case. This is an awesome box. But examples. It really grinds my gears. We are here doing a public service, and our job is to bring you informed, educated, and honest opinions, decisions, and information about the products we are reviewing. If we do not do that, we fail as a reviewer. Basically puts it out there as saying, if you send me your shit for free, I will do a really good review on it. If I am in a bad mood, I'm going to do a really bad review on it. That shit shouldn't matter once you start recording. That's just my own personal opinion. That's how I approach reviews, and that's how I will continue to approach doing reviews. But anyhow, before I get off topic real bad on a rant here, One Hit Wonder, Policeman. This is a Max VG 8020, 3 milligram Nick, and this was passed on to me for the purpose of this review by Wally and Holly down at the Vape Lab. Really awesome people. I stop in there quite often, and I most generally don't leave without something new to review. They're always just saying, here, I just got this in, review it. Or here, you tried this yet? No, here, I'll give this to you, do a review on it. You know, they're awesome like that, which is awesome. Doesn't change my opinion on the product at all. No different than if I would have went out and purchased it. No different than if I did purchase it. So basically, we're going to run it on the 26650 dual series. I got the Twisted Messes on here. Got either a 27 or 28 gauge dual core fused Clapton. 8 wraps fused with 31 or 32 gauge. All Canthal. But, drip her up a little bit here. First smell I get off of this is like a sweet marshmallow type. Smells sweet, smells good. First taste I get is that sweetness. I get the sweet first. I do get a marshmallow. I get a sweet marshmallow. I do get a donut. On the inhale, I'm getting a sweet donut, sweet doughy taste on the inhale, followed up by that sweet marshmallow, and then as you exhale, the marshmallow becomes more, and then the light doughy pastry kind of ends it out. Not too bad. Really sweet coil gunker. You run this shit in your coil for a couple of days, and you're gonna have to re-wick and clean your coils. But that's any of the One Hit Wonders juice. Their sweetener, it's a coil killer, especially in tanks. Definitely get the sweet marshmallow. I don't know that. I was really disappointed with this. After, I shouldn't even say that, because maybe My Man was just the fluke out of them all for me. I didn't like Muffin Man. I didn't like Milkman. I didn't like Rocket Man. I liked My Man. And after My Man, they came out with this. I really had my expectations up high, and When you do that, expectations are premeditated resentments, because it was a major letdown whenever I first tried this. Now, it has steeped for about 3 weeks now, and the taste is coming more together, so maybe in another 2 weeks it would be okay. But the first 2 days I had it, it had a hint of sweet. That was it. I couldn't really pinpoint any exact flavors. I had tried it a few different times between then and now, and it's just gotten to the point where I just want to review it so it's done with. Definitely wasn't impressed. One hit wonders on the internet, the 180 mils you can find for, I think, anywhere from 40-ish to like 65, 70-ish, depending on brick and mortar, depending online, depending flash sales, whatnot, what have you. So yeah, I mean, roughly around there, you're getting 180 mils of juice. It's vapable. It's vapable. It's definitely not an all-day vape for me by any means. It's not bad. The clouds are kind of milky and dense. They kind of fall right down, so it's not a bad cloudage test. Definitely get like a... I don't get glazed donut with marshmallow on top. I don't get that. I get hints of each of those. Like, I get a sweet doughy pastry, and I get like a sweet marshmallow. I guess you could prospectively round those up to a marshmallow covered glazed donut, I guess you could ultimately say. But whenever I picture a marshmallow covered glazed donut, it's not this. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyhow. Back to the task at hand. I just want to show you guys this here real quick though. This is a PWM box that I recently purchased, and I have gotten it. I'm going to be reviewing it. This is the J-Mod's Venom line. This is a high-end mod. It is a pulse width modulation. It has a voltmeter, light up 510. A lot of shit going on the inside. You got your voltmeter, your potentiometer, the chipboard, the button, battery sled. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on inside this little box, but just a little sneak peek here. Red light up voltmeter. I got her actually cranked up to 100% right now. Definitely enjoying this box. But as I said, this is a high-end mod. This mod here is going to run you roughly $200-ish with all the bells and whistles on it. Definitely worth every penny in my opinion. But, little sneak peek, something I got coming up. 30 mil BFT Ohmega tank by Advken. I gotta say, this thing is a fucking beast. I am running her at 111 watts. I got a 0.73 ohm build in there, cranking 9 volts through this bitch, and she keeps up. You wouldn't. It surprised me. I didn't think that it would keep up with the wicking as efficiently as what it does. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump up and close. I'm going to show you the ins and outs of this beast. I'm actually going to put a fucking mammothly beastly build in this thing for you guys, just to show you what you can fucking pop under the hood of this bitch. And then we're going to pull back out, and I'm going to fucking take her for a spin and show you some of the performance functions of this baby. Hands down, best flavor I've ever had out of a tank. Hands down. They do make a smaller version, 22 millimeter version. I'm just going to do the 30 millimeter version today. I actually have another RTA coming up. I have the Indulgence mutation tank, however the hell you say it. Kind of like this, only a lot smaller. But a lot of the features and characteristics are the same, but enough of that. I'm going to show you all the ins and outs of this baby. Going to break her down. I'm going to slap a badass build in there for you guys. Then we're going to take her for a spin again. Tell you where you can get it, how much it's going to cost, the whole rundown. Got some poison elixir monkey business running through there now, and just about got her empty. Don't want to waste any, so we'll be jumping up and close here, break her down, show you all the ins and outs, put a beastly ass build in here, and then we're gonna pull back out, vape on it, talk about it, tell you all exactly what I think about this beast. I actually purchased this one from Vapor World Biz, I do believe, and they get a big old fuck you thumbs down for customer service, shipping time, the whole 9 yards. But anyhow, okay guys, what's up? Here we go. When you receive it, she's gonna look like this. Not really anything spectacular, fancy right home to maw about. Got a little magnetic-y door. You can see the little magnet indent there. When you open her up, she's gonna look like this. You're gonna get a little bag of extra goodies. You got a couple replacement glass O-rings, replacement, looks like drip tip O-ring, and then this looks to be a replacement 510 O-ring, if I'm not mistaken. You get a couple grub screws, and then your good old big fucking little blue there. It also does come with a couple of Clapton coils, not these ones, but other ones, and I don't know what kind of wire it is, if it's fucking Nycra or Jesus Christ, lost my fucking words. If it's like N80 or some damn thing, because like they were fused Claptons and they were kind of beefy. I think they had like a 3.5 or 4 millimeter inner diameter. Dual coil, they were like 6 or 8 wraps. Dual coil came to a .08. I'm sorry, but yeah, Goody doesn't vape that low. Well, I do, but not regularly. Also, there is a replacement glass, which I have fucked off and broke mine. So yeah, no replacement glass or replacement glasses in here. So pull it out. Nothing in the bottom, kind of plain Jane, simple, straightforward shit here. Throw the little goodie bag in there. Pop that baby off to the side. And then go ahead and run your eyes over this baby. Got the little skull, Ohmega, Advken type logo there. Some really fuck off wide Cyclops airflow holes there. Kind of knurled top fill ring, I guess you would say. This wide ass Delrin drip tip, which I do believe to be a 10 mil wide drip tip. Go ahead and look at the bottom here real quick. The Alpha by BFT by Ohmega Mods, and as you can see, it's getting a little bit scratched up from turning her on and off the old RX 200, which is pretty much all I run it on. Serial number 1778. That is a solid copper contact. It does protrude far enough. It is adjustable, but it does protrude far enough that you could use it on your hybrid mech mods. No drama there. Go ahead and pull this drip tip off. Now that is a wide drip tip. As in with the Alliance, this drip tip is for this tank and this tank only. There is no drip tip adapter, and your standard 510 drip tip does not fucking fit. Why they didn't make the whole top fill piece Delrin or make this part of the heat there, because this doesn't get hot. I mean, I guess it could if you were vaping really low, like chain vaping, but I've never even had this top ring get hot. The bottom gets a little warm, but the top doesn't. Anyhow, just something to point out, your average 510 drip tip is not going to fit in there. Now, I have been made aware that if you buy the replacement setup, because the original first run of these just came with just this little section here. There was no extra tank. That's pretty much all you got in the box. Now they give you an extra glass piece now, so this must be like a second run. Enough people must have bitched about it that they threw an extra free one in there. But I was informed today that if you go ahead and purchase that replacement pack, I think it's like $5, you get 2 glasses, 2 glass tanks, you get the tool, replacement grub screws, replacement O-rings, and somebody had even said that they were pretty fairly certain that you got a couple replacement drip tips. Awesome, but the one I got, now this is it, and it's pretty fucking thin. I mean, the way the rest of this is machined and the quality of the rest of this, I would have really liked to have seen something thicker or even one solid piece, but it does fit in there tight, no drama, no issues. Go ahead and pop that off, and just to show you guys, these are the beefy ass bitches that I will be putting in this. These are a 10 wrap 22 gauge with this 22 gauge core clapped in with a 30 gauge, and this is 10 wraps around a 3.5 millimeter screwdriver. And I actually could have went probably 2 or 3 more wraps on this. I could have easily went to a 4 millimeter diameter, and I have. But these are going to be mammothly beastly ass coils as they are. Now, you know this is a 30 millimeter tank. Look at how wide them babies are. They are fucking huge. Those what will be going into this, but just have a little look-see around here. Now, this is a 10 mil juice capacity. They call this black, but it is more of a gunmetal. It's actually, technical term is anodized black. Oh, excuse me, monster coming back up. Black anodized finished. So we'll go ahead and unscrew the top part here, which is how you would fill her up. Unscrew her. The threads have all been really decent, no real issues there. Really wide ass fucking fill holes, one for your juice, one for the air to escape, no drama there. Go ahead and break her down a little bit further. Separate the chimney and the base, and here you go, here's your glass. Kind of stout, no rough edges, no nothing. The machine quality on this is fairly decent. Here is your all solid one piece chimney, and now that is wide as hell. I don't know the exact dimensions on that, but just to give you a little reference, here is a 22 millimeter phenotype RDA. That chimney pretty damn near sits perfectly flush with the outside of this RDA. Go ahead and pop the airflow off here real quick. Just to give you an idea on this. This is a standard 22 millimeter RDA. Post holes are the exact same size, so you have pretty much got a 22 millimeter velocity style deck wrapped in a 30 millimeter tank. Now them post holes, have a look at them fuckers. If me camera will fucking focus, there we go. 2.5 millimeter post holes. Now they are pretty beastly. I would like to think, I mean, you're talking fuck off all big here with this tank. It could have went a little bit bigger and even maybe went 3 mil post hole size, but I've had no issues whatsoever getting any build into this, and I've put some fucking beastly builds in here. Now you have your Cyclops airflow hole, which in turn comes up through here, which is just about the exact same size as what you got down here. On the side here you have Phillips grub screws. Now that is my complaint with this. I don't ever have luck with Phillips head grub screws. They always strip out. I have actually replaced one setup with flat heads just because I don't like the Phillips head. Now my camera's gonna fuck around. But I mean, there you go. And then you look at these juice channels. They are ridiculously huge. I guess you could run a small millimeter diameter coil through here. you're going to have to pile a whole shit ton of cotton inside these juice canals so that you don't get juice leaking through here and get really like bubbly, bursty juice hits. The wicking can be a little bit of a bitch on this. But once you get it down, the trick with this is the more the merrier. The more cotton you pack in this, the better she is going to wick, unless you're going to have any issues about it leaking. But I mean, this is a huge beast of a fucking deck. The whole tank itself is just huge. And here are these huge ass coils. And if you look, I could have still went another 2 wraps. Easy could have went another 2 wraps. Now, to just give you a comparison, because these do kind of look small against that big ass deck. Here they are on the phenotype. They probably would not even fit inside this deck, though they won't. They would not even fit inside this deck, and I could have still went bigger on this. I mean, this thing is just redonkulously huge. It is going to accept any build you can throw at it. I mean, she is just a beast of a fucking tank. Like I said, it is the best flavor from any tank that I have ever had, bar none. And I mean, as you can see there, I could have easily went bigger on this. Absolutely no issues whatsoever by going bigger. And these are 22, this is 22 gauge Canthal wrapped in 30 gauge. So these are beefy ass fucking Claptons. I think that's pretty much about it. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and slap this build on, get her pulsed up and ready to go, and then I will take some still shots of the build in process, and even maybe take a couple stills of the wick, just running through how much cotton I use, then with it packed all down in the juice canals, because there are some wicking videos out there and everybody wicks shit different, so I'm not going to eat up another 10 minutes of your time by doing this build and packing it full of cotton. I will show you some still shots whenever I pull back out, talk about it, vape on it. I will do a pause cut scene there, and I will show you some of these stills. But yeah, I feel pretty safe with going ahead and backing out. We'll talk about it a little bit. I'll show you some of these pics, and then we'll vape on it, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this bitch. It is a beast. Just one more little comparison here. Here's a 22 millimeter phenotype. It looks absolutely miniature to this. Absolutely fucking miniature. Dwarfs it. I mean, like I said, it's basically a 22 millimeter velocity wrapped in a 30 millimeter tank. It is fucking huge. But I feel alright. We're going to go ahead and back out. I'll talk on it, vape on it, and I'll give you my final thoughts and the rundown on it. Alright guys, I'll see you back up top. Okay guys, there you go. Up and close look at the BFT Ohmega by Advken. 30 millimeter tank. Gonna notice wardrobe change. Little shavy the old hair there. I recorded the first 2 bits. My batteries shit the bed, so I had to get new batteries. So in the process of that, of course, I'm in different clothes, and I got a little Buzzy Buzz trim there. So anyhow, that's out of the way. On to the task at hand, the Alpha Ohmega BFT tank by Advken. Now, this thing is beastly. I put a mammoth build in here just to show you guys what this thing can handle, and I could have even went bigger and more wraps than what I did. I went ahead and took some still shots of that, and I will give you guys a little slideshow now.
Please God help me, they're trying to take it all away. I don't want to die.
those beastly coils, Claptons, come out to a beautiful 8.7 ohms. That's what we're running, 8.7 ohms. Yeah, get on my level, huh? 0.87 ohms. 93.1 watts. Yeah, the 0.1 matters. Couldn't be 93.0 or 93.2. It's 93.1. At 93.1 watts, running a 0.87 build puts us at drawing 9 volts, which is the max that this RX 200 will allow. But I have to say this, 93 watts, no problem at all with 93 watts. Beautiful, thick flavor, thick, dense clouds. 93 watts, perfect for this build. We're running a massive 10 mil capacity in this baby. So, one of these little guys, fill this beast up with one of these little guys, and you have about that much juice left. So, you're not going to be refilling this thing all that often. But, with that being said, depending on the build you put in this thing, it's going to go through juice. Now, I have noticed that with this tank, with this massive 22 millimeter deck, basically, essentially, it's a velocity deck wrapped in a beautiful case. That being said, the juice channels are ridiculously huge. They're not even channels, they're canals. They're massive. That being said, you have to run big coils in this. You can run the smaller coils like a 2.5, even a 2 millimeter inner diameter in here, but you're going to have to pack little tufts of cotton inside those juice channels because the juice channels are so big and so wide. You have to have a lot of cotton right there, or else it's going to force juice up inside there, and it's going to come out your airflow. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of issues with this thing leaking when you refill it and screw this top cap on. Now, there is a scientific reason for that, being this is an airtight cylinder, essentially airtight. You do have the airflow holes here, which is what creates the draw when you screw your cap on. When you screw your cap on, this is such an airtight seal that it's pushing pressure down like this. When it pushes pressure down, your airflow holes are open, it's creating a draw or a vacuum. And when you do that, you force the juice through your cotton into your chimney here, and essentially it comes out the airflow holes. A lot of issues with that because a lot of people don't build ridiculously large coils. So their wicking that they pull through is not enough to really pack, and I mean pack, this juice channel so that the juice doesn't force itself up in there and you get what happens is a leaky ass tank. So you really have to pack the cotton inside here. Even if doing that, still when you screw the lid on, you're still gonna get some after effects of that juice forcing its way up and through there, because unless you vape this thing completely dry, which I don't recommend because then you'll end up burning your cotton and then you got to take it all apart again and it's a hassle. A way around that, and I know this is kind of a hassle too, this is one of the biggest cons with this tank. When you fill it up, you fill it all the way up. I'm going to screw this for you here just to show you. Bung your juice in there, fill her all up, you get her filled up, you start this on. Once you get the thread started, pinch the airflow holes. You can even unscrew it a little bit so it's more comfortable to pinch. Pinch the airflow holes, tip it upside down, finish screwing her the rest of the way on. What that does it helps eliminate that vacuum of pushing the juice in, because gravity helps that whole situation. When you tip it upside down, you're still going to get a little bit of that residue push through with that vacuum, but it's not going to be a lot. And in some cases, if you really pack that with enough cotton, you don't have any issues at all. That's one way around it. But it is definitely a con, and it is definitely something that I have to mention on this review. Other than that, I don't really have any cons with this. I mean, the one con that I have is I would have liked to have seen this drip tip is Delrin and it's removable. That is not 510 adjustable. You cannot put a 510 in it. You can, but it's going to wiggle all the fuck around. I don't know why they made this Delrin and its top cap anodized. They should have made it all one material and all one piece. That would have made things a lot easier, a lot more sensible. But I guess I was told that if you buy the pack of extras, the spare pack, you get 2 of these glass globes, you get all of the O-rings, couple grub screws, and the tool. And I was informed that you also get a 510 adapter so that you can throw any of your can't get my words out, any of your preferred drip tips in there. I guess it does come with a 510 adapter. I have not bought that extra pack because the pack that I bought actually came with all the extras. It just didn't have a 510 adapter in it. I must have had a second run on these, because the first run was just the tank. You didn't get nothing else, just the tank and the extra and the goodies, the O-rings, the screw, and the grub screws, and the tool. You didn't get an extra globe. The one I got came with an extra globe, but I didn't get the 510 adapter. I was told that if you buy the extras pack from Advken or whatever website you order it from, I was told that it comes with a 510 adapter. The person that told me that is kind of a pretty trusted source, so I take his word on it. But, I mean, other than that, you can see, I mean, 93 watts, the mammoth-ass build I have in here. Clouds and flavors, not an issue at all. Not an issue. Like I said, you essentially have a 22 millimeter velocity deck wrapped inside this beautiful 30 millimeter tank. Now, with that being said, this is a 30 millimeter tank. It's going to kind of look funny on all of your skinnier mods. This is the Lucifer Parallel War Series box, mechanical, fully mechanical. This is an unregulated Hammond box, and it would look, this is a 22 millimeter RDA, 30 millimeter tank. So as you can see, she's going to hang out over the edge. It doesn't look bad on the RX. It does have an overhang, which is probably like a 1.5, maybe 2 millimeter overhang. But other than that, I mean, it looks pretty stout on this. She's solid. She's a solid hitter. I've put this thing through the test, and I don't get one single dry hit, and I chain vape, so yeah. So basically boils down to the machine quality is great, flavor is great, ease of build, very fucking easy. Wicking is a little more tricky. You have to be kind of familiar with RDTAs, RTAs, however the hell you want to label them. Wicking is kind of an issue. You have to be familiar with how to wick these. This is like the Indulgence Mute tank, which would be like the VCMT. And unlike other tanks, with these kind of tanks, more is better. So you can overpack them, but you really have to pack the cotton in there to overpack these. Wicking is a little tough. It does have leaking issues. But other than that, I mean, if I lost this, would I go out and buy another one? Absolutely yes. This has totally changed my opinion and my mindset and my outlook on RDTAs or RTAs, rebuildable tank atomizers, rebuildable deck tank atomizers, dripping atomizers, dripping tank atomizers, however the hell you want to say it. This has definitely changed my opinion on those tenfold. Get a little swig here. But yeah, this is an awesome tank. This is a daily rotation of mine. It is definitely in my daily rotation. So yeah, if you're thinking about this, you have $30 you want to spend, do it. You will not be disappointed. Up next, I got this juice, Sky's the Limit Vapor. The owner, master, mixologist, however you want to label him, Jason, is kind of local to me. He stops in down at my local vape shop, and my local vape shop actually carries his line. I will be doing a review on that next. I actually got it all lined up. I'm going to do it as soon as I'm done with this one. But I got that one coming up, so you guys can check that one out. It's only 3 flavors. That's his entire line. But I've tried all 3 flavors, and they're pretty damn good. So stay tuned for that. As always, like I say in all my reviews, if you like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I always got new stuff up and coming. I got the Sky's the Limit. I got the Indulgence Mutank coming up. I got King Chief E-Liquid coming up. I got Unique Vapors juice line coming up. I got Sticky Icky Dragon juice line coming up. I'm going to be reviewing the Black and Gold Twisted Messes. I got a lot of stuff coming up. I got a dual unregulated series Venom PWM box mod review coming up. Oh, it's kind of a high-end mod, but I got that one coming up. So I got a lot of stuff coming up. Stay tuned, guys. And like I said, I apologize for the little gap in the reviews. I had some technical difficulties with the batteries for my camera and laptop troubles and whatnot. So some technical difficulties, but we got those all worked out. So we'll be bringing you a bunch of reviews kind of back to back to back, and then I'll be back to my 2 or 3 a week for you guys. Like always, if there's something you'd like to see reviewed that I haven't said, I haven't talked about, drop it in the comments. I'll get one, I'll review it for you guys. That's what I'm here for, is to bring you guys informed reviews. Maybe give you a little chuckle or two, you know, because I do some crazy shit. I fuck my words up sometimes, but it's always in fun. As always, make sure you know your battery safety, make sure you know your battery's limits, make sure you have a familiar knowledge of Ohm's Law before you start building your own coils. Make sure that your batteries are authentic and not just cheap, knockoff Chinese rewrap junk. If you do that, you'll vape safe. And if you vape safe, you're always going to vape happy. Till next time, this is Mike with Goodies Monster Reviews. Make sure you're doing all you can against the fight against big tobacco. Remember, every voice counts. Until next time, vape safe, guys.
Time moving slow, the minutes seem like hours. The final curtain call I see. How true is this? Just get it over with. If this is true, just let it be.